What's up, guys, and welcome to Division Infinity, a new channel all about Ubisoft's upcoming game, The Division. Today we're going to be talking about Dark Zones and character customization. So we're going to start off with Dark Zones, just right off the bat here. What are they? Dark zones are areas in the Division that are most contaminated. While in these zones, players can freely engage in PvP. In the Dark Zones, players will be able to complete special missions that offer the best loot in the game. However, loot acquired in a Dark Zone needs to be extracted and decontaminated before it is fully usable. For an extraction to start, one player of the group must fire a signal flare. Once fired, it takes 90 seconds for the extraction to complete. The flare will alert nearby hostiles to your position, and these are hostiles as in players, not NPCs, players. The flare will alert nearby hostile players to your position, and if they feel inclined to do so, they can attempt to kill your group and steal your loot. This is really awesome because in the end there, it says if they feel inclined. So these aren't automatically going to be PvP sections. These are just sections that can be PvP. You can meet people here and become friends. Now, most likely, that's not going to happen even a majority of the time. Maybe 5% you'll make friends in Dark Zones, but you know basically that any player that has the chance to PvP is probably going to take it, especially if you have good loot. Maybe not if there's one guy and four of you, but, you know, who knows. It's going to be a totally different dynamic on games because for that very reason, if you're just one guy going into a Dark Zone and you come across four players, are you going to try to take them? Are you just going to let them pass? Or are you going to try to be friendly? It's different, you know? It's not, oh, there's another group of NPCs, take them out, get my loot. When you're in combat with NPCs in these Dark Zones, you also have to be aware of players. Players that could just be watching you take out these enemies and then take out you when you've cleared the area. And that's what makes this part of the game so intriguing. It's because it's so unknown. Every time you go into a Dark Zone, it's going to be unknown. So, besides the unique PvP style of Dark Zones, we know there are a bunch of different things you can do, which is great. You're not going to be going into the same Dark Zone doing the same thing over and over again. As you see back in the gameplay video, they actually have an option to go underground, or otherwise known as a group event. So you can go into these Dark Zones alone, but there are group events separate from the Dark Zones, or should I say in the Dark Zones. So this game is totally, as the developer says, good. It's a good, it's a good game to play alone. But obviously, there are elements if you play alone that you're not going to get if you play as a group, such as these group events, which I assume are just like dungeons. But in this certain video, they decided to go to the police station because they heard gunshots and they wanted to check it out. So, and that was really cool to me that you have a bunch of different options in these Dark Zones, not to mention you'll come across other players. So, I'm not really sure how this is going to work, but this is something that's totally new. But we also know that factions are going to be a huge part of the game. We don't know anything about them, but they have been mentioned, and who knows if you can attack your own faction or different factions. All we know is that they do play a big part in this game. I realize I'm kind of getting off track here with these group events and factions, but maybe I'll cover those in a different video. But for now, let's try to stick to the title of the video. Sticking with Dark Zones, just a couple of speculations now, not really confirmed, just things I'm wondering. Later back in the video, you did see cars. You did see a car drive by in the street right there. And I'm not sure, we haven't really heard anything besides that, you know, vehicles are confirmed. But are you taking your vehicle into these Dark Zones, and what benefit do they have? Can you carry more loot in them? I'm seeing with all the trash in the streets, there's probably only a limited place you can go. Or maybe in these Dark Zones, only NPCs can drive vehicles, and you can attack these NPCs. We obviously know there are going to be bandits in these Dark Zones, along with other players, but I'm not really sure how this is all going to tie together, which why I'm really excited to get more information. They haven't really released a lot, which makes me nervous that they might have a delay in the release, but that's all rubbish and things like that that we don't really know. So really, that's all I have to say about Dark Zones. So I'm going to move on talking about a little bit of the customization. Now, we don't know a lot about this, but there are some things that I would like to just talk about, and if you haven't heard already, I would love to share things with you. So this was a interview actually with Frederick. I don't want to say his last name because I think I'll butcher it, but Frederick, a producer working on The Division, he says that there are multiple ways to customize a character in the upcoming game, and that players will always be able to pursue their own scenarios and fantasies. The developer says that a background is first required, with the player able to choose from a number of disciplines that might be needed during a disaster, ranging from military to intel and medical. That is exciting. Not only are you creating what your character looks like, you are creating a character from the ground up, from his past and his future. You have control over all of it. And that is what a lot of games are missing. A lot of games have done it right, but also a lot of games have made that a terrible experience. And I think The Division, from what I've read, is going up the right road. So really, we don't know much about the customization, whether clothes are going to have an impact on, should I say, skills or buffs or things like that, or maybe you'll just pick your clothes from the beginning and have those and be able to change those throughout the game. I assume that things will be a little different with the new snow engine and all the weather that we will be encountering. I know that one of the devs actually went out and tried to survive 3 days in the wilderness, and he said it wasn't a great experience, but he really got a grasp on how difficult it is. And this is a survival game. It's an open world RPG survival, and that is really cool, but it's not survival like they're going to be. You're not going to worry about food and water. They're not going to try to, like, obviously those are things you have to keep up, but those aren't going to be the main priority. I realize I'm getting off track here again. I just can't stop talking once I start. So back to customization. So really, that's all we know about it. We know that we're going to be able to create their background, who they are or who they were, and who they're going to be through this epic journey. So you really get to make him or her your own. As far as customizations with the actual person is physical features, I know that there are different backpacks you can pick up, probably for more space and things like that. And the clothes, I can only imagine that the clothes have perks for maybe more pockets, or maybe just if you in the winter you get cold or something, you have to put on a jacket. I don't know exactly how detailed that's going to be, but I know it's going to be a good or big part of the game. So guys, that's really all I have for you for this first video. I hope you took it well. I just want to talk a little about my channel now. It is a very brand new channel, just came out a couple days ago, but I plan on trying to pop out as many videos as I can. I'm really interested about this factions thing, and I know that this game isn't exactly an MMO, but I know there are classes. Not in terms that you would think, not like choose your class before, but I know that you pretty much create your character to be a certain role, such as healer, tank, DPS. We'll talk about that more in a different video, but I just want to say, guys, if you can like this video or just subscribe to the channel, I promise you more great things are coming. I'm really excited to see what this game has to offer, and I just can't wait to share it with you guys. So I suppose that's all I have. Until next time, guys, take it easy.